more than 800,000 Rwandans were killed. In 1994, Paul Rusesabagina was manager of a hotel in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. During the height of the horrific violence that plagued, indeed tore apart that nation. Many of you know Mr. Rusesabagina as the real-life hero of the 2004 movie Hotel Rwanda. That film depicts the bravery of Paul, who during the days of genocide sheltered and saved the lives of more than 1,200 Tutsi and Hutu refugees. To give you some sense of the horror and of the danger Paul and his family faced, 4 of Paul's 8 siblings were victims of the genocide. Paul's wife Tatiana lost her father and mother, brother and sister-in-law, and 4 nieces and nephews. Later, Paul, Tatiana, and family made their way to Belgium and eventually to San Antonio, where they currently reside. Since the genocide and following the filming of Hotel Rwanda, Paul has spoken and advocated for human rights in Rwanda and the world. For his heroic acts, Mr. Rusesabagina has received many honors and recognitions. In 2005, President George W. Bush presented Paul with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States. Several years later, in August of 2020, Paul was invited to speak in Burundi, a neighboring country to Rwanda. After traveling by commercial jet from San Antonio to Dubai, Paul boarded a chartered flight in Dubai that he believed was heading to Burundi. Paul, however, had been tricked, and instead the flight landed in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. Kidnapped, tortured, and imprisoned, Paul was charged with crimes of treason. 1 year later, he was tried, convicted, and sentenced to 25 years in a Rwandan prison, beginning in September 2021. Thus began an international outcry. In adopting a resolution, the European criticized the arrest. The United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention found, and I quote, Mr. Rusesabagina has been targeted by the Rwandan government on account of his work as a human rights defender. In the United States, the U.S. Department of State asserted that Paul had been wrongfully arrested and imprisoned. Congressman Joaquin Castro co-sponsored a resolution calling on the Rwandan government to release Paul, and the House of Representatives in October 2022 adopted the resolution by a vote of 413 to 8. And St. Mary's University, right here, led by now Professor Emeritus Bill Israel, he and students in his communications class adopted as its group project advocacy for the release of Mr. Rusesabagina. Eventually, the international, national, and San Antonio efforts were successful, and Paul was released from prison after almost 2 years in prison. At St. Mary's University, we're grounded, as you know, in the Catholic Marianist principle of respect for the dignity of each and every human person. In 1994, Paul Rusesabagina went way beyond that standard of respect and risked his and his family's lives on behalf of 1,200 of his terrified neighbors. Paul has explained his acts recently in this way, and I quote, I helped human beings. I did not help Hutus or Tutsis. On behalf of St. Mary's University's community of trustees, faculty, staff, students, graduates, who respect and value the dignity of every human person, I'm privileged to present to Paul Rusesabagina the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, this 11th day of May 2024. Please join me in
Oh, Good afternoon, everyone. Are you there?
Yes.
Today, I'm one of the happiest people ever in my life. I'm very, very thankful to you, Mr. President. Very thankful to you, St. Mary's University people, who stood up and fought for me when I was in hell. And you happened to raise your voices. And here I am today, standing up here with you. To you, graduates, graduate students, as from now, we are no more students. Today or tomorrow, you'll be responsible. My message to you is very simple. Whatever you do it well and up to the end. Thank you, everyone. Thank you a million.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Government Relations at USAA. And today's honorary degree recipient, human rights activist Paul RUSESABAGINA. I'd also like to invite Dr.